On today's edition of the Met Report,
a Japanese art exhibition on display.
Thousands of Uber and Lyft drivers on strike.
Phil Weiser takes a stand against Kroger and Albertsons companies.
MSU Denver's club hockey compete at the conference playoffs.
All of this and much more starting right now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Met Report. It's Friday, February 16th. I'm Noah Block.
And I'm Jackie Bautista. There is lots to cover, so let's get started. This past Tuesday, the Department of Exercise Science and Sports hosted an event for students.
That's right, Jackie, particularly women students interested in entering the sports management world. Our reporter Laryss was there to catch everything.
Today, students and faculty are gathering in the JSSB building for the 7th annual Women in Sport Management panel. I'm here to cover this women empowering event with 4 special guest speakers in the sport management field.
February has been a special month for women in sports, as February 7th was the annual Women in Sports Day. And what better way to celebrate this than by having 4 sport management women come right here on campus to advise and help not only women looking to enter this field, but any other students who may be interested. This panel was hosted Tuesday evening in the JSSB building, where 4 women sat among students and answered any questions they may have about entering a career in sports. Emily Marguer, who is the VP of Ticket Sales and Services for the Denver Nuggets and KSE, joined the 4 in speaking. Sitting alongside her was USA's Football Coordinator of Education and Research, Erica Johnson, who had plenty to share with students. Next to Erica sat Operations Assistant for the Denver Broncos, Emily Naparala, who I was able to chat with after the event. And lastly, among these women was Lexi Vernon, the Associate Commissioner of the RMAC Conference.
I help a lot with the team travel as well as some of the game day experience and some of the facility. I kind of touch a lot of areas with my job, so I'm not even sure what exactly it is I want to do yet, but I'm definitely where I dreamed about as a kid as far as I'm on the sidelines for the games. I get to do all these cool things that I always thought I would do one day. So as far as that goes, yes, I am where I want to be, but obviously we're seeking professional growth and things like that. But yeah, it's been really rewarding. I look for people that are real, that stand out, that tell me why they're good for the job and give me specific reasons that are something you can tell that is really like a passion of theirs and something that makes them stand out rather than just they work hard and they show up, because everyone, that's the bar, right? So we want to raise the bar. So just really show that you're different, show that you're exceptional, because you are. So just show it. And really just keep reaching for your goals, being kind, being yourself, and you'll get where you want to go.
Each of these ladies had advice and tips to give to everyone who joined this event. The women went into great detail on all of the good and bad they have faced while being in this career and how they got exactly to where they are now. This event does happen once a year and plans to host many other women in sports management. For the Met Report, I'm Laryss Rodriguez.
On Monday, Governor Jared Polis visited campus to unveil legislation that would help to fund a new Health Institute tower for MSU. The bill aims to create new facilities to train healthcare workers at 4 Colorado colleges, with industry leaders predicting a dangerous workforce shortage in the next 5 years. MSU would be allocated $50 million to help build the new 6-story health tower, which would put all of the university's Health Institute programs under one roof and bring in more undergraduate health students. While a date has not been given for the start of the project, the location has been chosen. The tower will be next to the West Classroom building, which is already under construction.
For all of you music enthusiasts, Black Era has a special treat in store for you. Tonight marks the very first event of a new series called Fresh Flow Friday. In honor of hip-hop's 50th anniversary, MSU Denver's Black student org, Black Era, has teamed up with local art collective Black Kosher and Met Radio to host a monthly concert series which will run until the end of the spring semester. Fresh Flow Friday will bring back elements of the movement's origin. The event will feature 8 local artists, rappers, and singers who will go head-to-head in a single elimination tournament. Each artist will perform and be voted on by judges to determine whether they'll take the crown or have to try again the next month. The event is free to attend, and to sign up for April and May events are live through the Black Era Instagram. March's Fresh Flow Friday will be exclusive to female artists in honor of International Women's Month. So if you want to perform and compete for the crown, sign up via the link in bio at blacx.era or scan the QR code.
Being on campus, it's sometimes difficult to take in all that our area has to offer, between music, sports, and especially art.
That's right, and the Emmanuel Gallery is one of our campus's hidden gems, displaying art exhibitions every few months. Our reporter Alex Petrich has the story.
Located between the PE Events Center and the Auraria Library, the Emmanuel Gallery sits quietly with its doors open to everyone on campus. Built in 1876, it began its life as a synagogue before being converted into an art gallery in 1973. Since then, it has displayed the works of hundreds of artists, local, national, and international, with exhibits rotating every few months. Sponsored by CU Denver's College of Arts and Media, the current exhibit is Cuban artist Angel Ricardo Rios's Ikebana, a modern take on the centuries-old Japanese art form of flower arrangement. The installation features 7 oil-on-canvas paintings, but the centerpiece is the massive inflatable sculpture depicting pumpkins and gourds. Gallery coordinator Andrew Palomero spoke more on the exhibit's importance, as well as what the Emmanuel Gallery offers to campus.
We have 7 of his paintings that he stretches onto large canvases and often paints with his fingers and hands, but they're often depictions of flowers, natural life, plants, things like that. And then the centerpiece of this exhibition is a giant inflatable sculpture called Ikebana, which is the namesake of the exhibition. And it is a series of gourds of different colors that are kind of interlocking. And it's designed for people to walk through, sit in, crawl under, more of a direct experiential kind of artwork. In this case, we collaborated with the K Contemporary Art Gallery here in Denver, which is just a couple of blocks over from campus. They represent Angel as well as a bunch of other really great artists. And we had approached them about putting on an exhibition of Angel's work because they had previously exhibited Ikebana, the inflatable, for a week last year. And so we started to talk about what it could look like, putting his work in the Emmanuel. We selected 7 of his paintings from their vault, as well as centering the show around Ikebana. So we pride ourselves on being a community space. So we may have a small staff that operates this gallery, but we try to make sure that this is a space that is by and for the community that exists here.
Ikebana will be on display until the end of this month. Plenty of other events will be hosted in the space through the end of the semester and into the summer. For the Met Report, I'm Alex Petrich.
That looks amazing. Have you checked it out, Noah?
You know, I haven't been to any art exhibitions recently, but every time I walk past there, they're playing some nice tunes. Today, I think I heard Panic at the Disco there.
Well, stay tuned because coming up next is Miah with Politics.
Hello everyone, I'm Miah Ntepp, here to bring you all in the news and government. So let's dive right into the political arena. Now this past Tuesday, young staffers from the Black Democratic Legislative Caucus of Colorado held a panel that took place in the Tivoli Garage, Lounge Room 257, for students who are interested in working in politics to learn about possible careers. Now I personally spoke on this panel with Queen Esther, who gave us her story and experience as a legislative staffer, what she does on the job, and why she's so passionate about democracy. Now, the panel also touched on difficulties of the job and how you need to be tough, although it's rewarding. They expressed the importance of young Black youth getting involved because the majority of legislators are made up of corporate people who do not have experience in the community. Now, they emphasized that by getting involved, we can have a more diverse perspective with a greater variety of voices taking up space. Now, there were many opportunities presented, such as doors opening in law, city, and state government, and speakers reiterated how personally enriching their experience in mentoring has been. Now, on Thursday, a significant gathering unfolded at the steps of the Colorado State Capitol as care workers from across the state united for a cause that's close to their hearts, Organizers with Colorado Care Workers Unite, ranging from nurses to home care assistants, rallied to bring attention to critical issues facing their industry. I went to the Capitol to see what they were fighting for. Thanks, guys. Well, I'm here at the Colorado Capitol where there's a home care worker bill that has a lot of controversy. There's multiple community group orgs and individuals here to testify and share their thoughts. I was able to catch up to some of the community groups. Let's hear what they had to say. On Thursday, members from local community organization Colorado Care Workers United rallied at the state capitol. These are a coalition of care workers, and their demands: higher wages, better working conditions, and a more substantial support from state legislators. I was able to interview one of the organizers with Colorado Care Workers United on the priorities they are trying to draw attention to.
Hi, my name is Alexia Richmond, and I'm one of the caregivers for CCWU. And the reason why we're up here is trying to fight for minimum wage to go higher for caregivers, and also to give more benefits and access to us since we work so hard and we serve the community.
Advocates from Colorado Care Workers United went on to say that the role of care workers has never been more critical, and that these dedicated professionals are the backbone of our healthcare system, providing essential support to those in need. Follow us along to track legislation and other activity here in the Colorado Capitol by going to www.leg.colorado.gov. Well, last week, Denver Mayor Mike Johnston announced plans to cut $5 million from the public services to help deal with the surge of migration into the city. But now his proposal is receiving serious pushback from other city officials. Now, Johnston stated that the city is short nearly $180 million this fiscal year, attributing to that deficit to the over 40,000 migrants who have made their way to Denver. To combat this, the mayor proposed budget cuts to several government-operated branches, including rec centers, the DMV, as well as police departments and animal shelters. Now, Paul Lopez, the clerk and recorder of Denver, has said that he will not comply with the budget cuts proposed by the mayor, saying on Tuesday, "The cuts that are being asked of my office in a year like this, with what we're up against, is absolutely unacceptable." Now, Lopez cited that the cuts to the department will defund election processes, and with nationwide elections coming up in November, there was a real danger in diverting this money. Now, from advocating for LGBTQ+ rights to breaking barriers in politics, a local transgender representative is making waves in the great state of Colorado. This trailblazing individual is sharing her unique perspective on the issues that matter most. I was able to interview Colorado's first openly transgender legislator about what groundbreaking policies we can look forward to. I'm here at the Colorado Capitol, where hundreds of bills go through the Colorado State House and Senate every session. I was able to identify some of the big ones that we can look out for by interviewing State Rep. Brianna Titone. Let's take a look to see what she had to say. Colorado Representative Brianna Titone was elected in 2019 to serve District 27 of the Colorado House of Representatives. Titone currently serves in the Colorado General Assembly and is the first openly transgender state legislator elected in Colorado.
Hi, everybody. I'm Representative Brianna Titone. I represent Northern Jefferson County, District 27, and we have got a lot of really cool things we're working on here in the Colorado House and in the Senate, too. I'll give them a little bit of credit. The House is better. Some of the things I'm working on is right to repair. So the phone that's being used to record this, can you fix it? Not really right now. You don't have the right to do that. So we're working on a bill to expand the rights of consumers to be able to fix their stuff. This goes on to the bill that I did last year for ag equipment and the bill on wheelchairs before that. I'm also working on a bill for menstrual products in schools to be sure that all the students that are going to school have access to these very important products that they need to get. I'm also working on a bill on HOAs, which is not really that sexy, but it's a very important one. I'm also working on a bill on deep fakes for elections. So making sure that we have some protections in place for false information in elections that inevitably will be showing up. And we've seen some of these already in some other states. So there are a lot of different things we're trying to work on right now. And there's too big of a list to go on this little video, but definitely check out what we're doing on my website, or just come and sit in on a committee hearing or on the House floor and listen to all the great work that we're doing here in the Colorado government. So thank you very much for watching.
State Representative Brianna Titone serves as chair of the Legislative LGBTQ+ Caucus, chair of Joint Technology Committee, and a member of the Energy and Environment, Health and Insurance and Agriculture, Livestock and Water Committees. For more information and to find your local legislator, go to www.leg.colorado.gov/findmylegislator. Well, that's a wrap for today's segment in politics. There's, of course, more news to come, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. This past Thursday, new information came to light about the case coming out of Penrose, Colorado, where more than 200 bodies were found in a funeral home late last year. The owners of the Return to Nature funeral home, John and Carrie Halford, recently headed to trial to face 260 charges, including money laundering, abuse of corpse, forgery, and theft. As Halford walked out of the courthouse, he was met by family members asking about their loved ones' remains. There are still 22 remains that are unidentified, and the FBI continues to work on finding their identities. John Halford was released from El Paso County Jail on a $10,000 bond, and March 21st is their next hearing.
On Wednesday, thousands of Uber and Lyft drivers went on strike across the U.S. and UK, pressing for higher wages and better working conditions. In the U.S., drivers gathered outside airports in major American cities, citing that, in some cases, inflation rates have made their job unsustainable and that they were making more money 6 years ago than they are now. Another sentiment from the drivers was that Uber specifically puts profits ahead of staff and that the company disregards the safety of its employees. In England, ride-sharing workers also demonstrated, turning off their delivery apps from 5 to 10 p.m. in the hopes of getting the attention of the major corporations. While it remains unclear how long this strike will last, Uber made a public statement Wednesday saying the strike had not hurt the supply of drivers or the demand for rides.
A popular dessert spot just outside downtown Denver is set to become the site for hundreds of new homes. Parlor Donuts, located on the corner of First and Lincoln Street, is one location of national chain, founded in Evansville, Indiana in 2019 and is known for its unique donut flavors and fresh coffee. On Monday, Denver's City Council voted to approve multiple rezonings, including the area around this intersection, with the address now being classified as mixed-use residential. This means that the developer for the site will be looking to build about 7 floors of apartments at a yet-to-be decided date. But don't worry about our parlor going away, as the donut shop has already expressed interest in using the bottom floor of the new building to continue doing business.
Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser took a stand against retail giants Kroger and Albertsons on Wednesday, filing a lawsuit to block a $25 billion merger between the two companies. The Attorney General cited concerns over consumer welfare, claiming that the merger would cause trouble for consumers, predicting store closures, higher pricing, and a decline in job opportunities. In response, Kroger and Albertsons defended the deal, describing it as good for competition, and expressed disappointment in Weiser's decision while the merger is still under regulatory review. This legal battle unfolds amidst ongoing scrutiny from the U.S. Federal Trade Commission and a similar lawsuit by Washington State. Kroger's proposal to divest hundreds of stores aims to address antitrust concerns. The lawsuit would also challenge an illegal no-poach agreement between the two companies formed during the 2020 King Soopers strike, with Weiser seeking $2 million in civil penalties as a result of that agreement.
Before we move on to the next segment, let's check out what Colorado's weather has in store for us.
We know how unpredictable it can be here. Let's toss it over to our weather girl for the latest updates. Cece, what's the forecast looking like?
Thanks, guys. Well, for today's forecast, we are seeing a high of 42 degrees with some winds coming in northeast at about 2 miles per hour and some snowy weather throughout the day. That snow hopefully won't stick around tomorrow, however, with a projected high of 41 degrees and some sunnier skies. On Sunday, we are seeing cloudier weather with a projected high of 51, the warmest of this weekend. And those warmer temperatures will lead us into this week's weekly weather forecast. On Monday, we're seeing a projected high of 56 degrees with some sunny skies. On Tuesday, a projected high of 65, the warmest of the week, with also sunny skies. On Wednesday, we will see some cloudier skies with a projected high of 60 degrees. On Thursday, a projected high of 54 with sunny skies as well. Friday will keep on being sunny with a projected high of 51 degrees. Looks like those warmer temperatures are sticking around this week, so make sure you make the most out of it. That's all we have for weather this week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Cece, for the weather report.
Yeah, looks like the groundhog might have been right. I usually don't see that. Well, don't go anywhere, because after the break, we have Brandi with sports.
Hello, sports fans. It's your sports guru, Brandi Rose, here to bring a touch of glam into the world of sports. We have lots to cover, so let's jump right in. MSU softball is officially in full swing as they played quite the first home tournament last weekend. The Lady Roadrunners went 3-2 in the tournament and put up some pretty high numbers. First home game jitters are always lingering, but the Lady Roadrunners managed to set those aside and stand on business. The first home game against St. Mary's, Texas lasted 5 innings with 2 of 3 no-hit relief innings by freshman Natalie Romero. And the first homer of the season went to senior Miah Hartvigsen. The Lady Roadrunners clinched the win with a 12-3 game to start the weekend. Going into Friday, the ladies went 1-for-1 with a 4-3 dub as senior Kami Grammersdorf drove in the game winner. Game 2 ended in a 9-12 loss. The last day of the tournament was another 1-for-1 day as a 5-6 loss in the first game. However, that didn't put the ladies down as they bounced back with a 12-2 dub in the last game of the tournament. Sophomore Aaliyah Ariano led the team with a 2-for-2 plate appearance. As of right now, the team is 500 on the season and will face off against Black Hills State tomorrow at noon at the Athletic Complex. The number 1 seeded MSU Denver club hockey team has had an exceptional season, going 12-0 in the BMHC. They took to the ice this weekend to battle for the conference championship, and I went along with them to check out the action.
Today, the number 1 team in the Big Mountain Hockey Conference began their title run, kicking off the action with senior night. Going 12-0 in their conference this season, the Roadrunners enter the postseason as regular season champions. The last time MSU Denver was both regular season and BMHC champs, 2019, and they hope to recreate that success here this weekend. Tonight, MSU faces off against CU, who eliminated Wyoming with a 5-2 win late last night. The last time these two teams competed, the Roadrunners ran off with a 7-2 win with hat tricks from their forwards Tanner Calderola and Matthew Clift. With a win, Metro will play CSU, who took down number 2 DU with a 6-5 shootout victory, tomorrow at the Promenade for the championship title. In Game 1 of the BMHC playoffs, the Roadrunners honored their graduating seniors, Bailey Seeley, Christian Brown, Braden Greenwood, Dylan McGee, and club president Armando Fowler. These players recognized for their leadership and dedication to the team throughout their Roadrunner career. From the opening puck drop, the Roadrunners came out with ferocity, determined to win and clinch their spot in the finals. The first period started with strong defensive pressure from both sides, making it difficult for either side to create scoring opportunities. Despite the onslaught of shots, neither team managed to find the back of the net, resulting in a scoreless first period. Intensity slowly grew as the second period began, and the Roadrunners ramped up their offense, scoring the first goal from forward Nathan Jaramillo, assisted by Lucas Marples and Sam Miller. But Colorado kept MSU on their toes, answering back a minute later with a goal of their own. The goal by Soren Bredesen gave Metro State a brief lead, but before the end of the period, CU was able to score one of their own. Both teams walked off the ice, knotted at 2 apiece. The Roadrunners maintained their lead for the rest of this game, securing a well-deserved win. Calderola and McLeod's performances played a crucial role in their success, showcasing their skills as both goal scorers and playmakers, both players racking up 2 assists and a goal on the evening. The team's exceptional performance throughout the tournament showcased their determination and speed, earning them a well-deserved win. Their victory and undefeated status in their conference not only secured their spot in the BMHC finals, but granted them the advantage of playing on home ice against Colorado State the following afternoon. The goal from Soren Bredesen put the Roadrunners on the board first, his second goal of the weekend. However, Colorado State quickly retaliated with a goal of their own, tying the game up after 1 period. The goal from senior Christian Brown gave MSU a much-needed boost in the second period, but CSU equalized the game once again, leaving both teams tied. The goals from Jackson Brandhorst and Matthew Clift not only put the Roadrunners up 2, but displayed their ability to capitalize on scoring opportunities. The Roadrunners entered the locker room after 2 periods of play with a 4-2 lead. The Rams opened up the final period with 3 unanswered goals, securing them a 1-score advantage as the clock ticked down. However, forward Matthew Clift's impressive performance allowed him to find the back of the net. Clift, his line mates Sam Miller and Tanner Calderola were able to exploit weaknesses in CSU's defense, tying the game with just 20 seconds left on the clock. With a final score of 6-5, CSU ultimately won this game in OT. As the 4th seed in ACHA D2, MSU Denver is determined to bounce back and secure their spot in nationals during the upcoming regional tournament in Logan, Utah. The team has been working hard and remains confident about their chances of success. For the Met Report, I'm Brandi Rose.
MSU Denver's strong conference play was further rewarded as they received recognition from the Big Mountain Hockey Conference, with head coach Brady Reynolds and his staff being named Coach of the Year, left wing Tanner Calderola being named Player of the Year, and several other players receiving all-conference honors, including defensemen Sam Miller and Soren Bredesen, forwards TJ McLeod and Nathan Jaramillo, and of course goalkeeper Dylan Romano. This acknowledgement is a testament to their exceptional performance and dominance in their conference, and gives Roadbird hockey fans even more reason to celebrate their team's success and look forward to the postseason. This week was week 2 of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, also known as RMAC's Pitcher of the Week. Every week for the season, the RMAC chooses one player with the skills to be a Player of the Week, as well as the Pitcher of the Week. The latter this week was MSU's very own Jake Sleminski. This senior proved he deserved this placement with his team's domination against the Biola University Eagles. After a pair of losses against the Eagles, Sleminski turned things around and changed the next couple games. He threw 7 strong innings, even striking out a career-high 10 hitters while only allowing 1 run. Even with the Roadrunners' slow start, Sleminski helped the team rally and secure a 4-2 win. Through his opening 2 starts, Sleminski currently leads the RMAC with a 1.5 earned run average as well as 15 total strikeouts. He also leads with innings pitched totaling 12 and even is tied for first in wins totaling 1. This was Sleminski's 3rd career RMAC Pitcher of the Week honor, and because of these plays, he was also named South Central Region Pitcher of the Week. This past week, MSU Denver's Mario Lacey Jr. won Defensive Player of the Week honors. Lacey Jr. dominated in the Roadrunners' weekend homestand versus South Dakota Mines and Black Hill State, bringing them to 4th in the RMAC. In their first game against South Dakota, Lacey Jr. put up 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 blocks, going 5 of 8 from the field and helping them secure the 83-80 win on Friday. The following day, the Roadrunners took down Black Hill State 75-58, with Lacey Jr. recording 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Another impressive performance from the forward. This is MSU Denver's 2nd Defensive Player of the Week award of the season, with guard KJ Garrett taking home the honor the first week of the new year. This weekend, the Roadrunners are back on the road to take on Westminster, Utah, and Colorado Mesa. Thanks for joining me for sports today. Stay tuned for more excitement next week. Now let's toss it back over to the desk.
Thank you, Brandi. What was your favorite story from this week, Jackie?
It would have to be the art gallery one.
Yeah. That's always fun to see what's going on campus.
Well, thanks for joining us. We hope to see you next week. But until then, go to mymetmedia.com for information on our newscast.
And subscribe to our YouTube to stay up to date on all the latest stories.
Goodbye and have a nice weekend.